Somewhere in the world, there are places where men aren't allowed. No husbands, no fathers, no sons. Just women. Entire villages built by women, for women, where they live, work, raise children, and run things completely on their own. It sounds like fiction, but it's real. Very real. You might be wondering, why would anyone create a place like this? What happened that made these women want to live so far from men? The answer is hard to hear, and even harder to forget. Let's go back to Kenya, 1990. A group of women, survivors of brutal violence and sexual assault by soldiers, were abandoned by their husbands, rejected, shamed, left with nothing. Instead of begging for a place in a society that had already thrown them out, they did something radical. They built their own. They called it Umoja, which means unity. And from that day forward, it became a safe haven for women who had no other refuge. No one thought they'd last a year, but decades later they're still standing. Inside Umoja, everything is run by women. They farm the land. They raise their children together. They run small businesses. They resolve conflicts. They make the rules. There are no bars, no domestic violence, no forced marriages, just women, living in peace, sometimes for the first time in their lives. But make no mistake, this isn't some utopia. They face challenges every single day: poverty, legal threats, pressure from outside communities, and often hostility from men who live nearby. There have even been cases where men tried to storm the village, threatening the women, demanding the village be shut down. They called it unnatural, offensive, dangerous. But the women refused to back down. In fact, that's part of the rules. Men can visit the village, journalists, aid workers, tourists, but they're not allowed to stay. No sleeping over, no settling in. And when boys raised in the village reach a certain age, they're sent to live outside. It's painful, but the women say it's necessary, because they didn't come here to raise the next generation of men who might hurt them. They came here to survive, to heal, to rebuild. And what's happening in Umoja isn't isolated. All over the world, in small corners of India, Nepal, Indonesia, and even parts of Brazil, more and more women are creating spaces like this. Sometimes it's a village, sometimes it's a shared home, sometimes it's an online community, but the idea is spreading. If the world won't protect women, women will protect themselves. And maybe in a way, that's the future. A new kind of strength, a quiet rebellion. Now let's be real. Some people find this uncomfortable. They say it's extreme, that it's unfair, that it's just flipping the same old coin. But if you ask the women who live in these places, they'll tell you a different story. They'll tell you they finally feel safe, finally feel free. And that, for the first time in their lives, they sleep without fear. So what do you think? Are women-only villages a step forward, or are they a sign of how broken the world really is? Let us know in the comments. This is a conversation the world needs to have. And if you found this powerful, disturbing, or just eye-opening, hit that like button. Subscribe for more true stories the mainstream never shows you. We're just getting started. This is Crazy World Facts, where we dive deep into the raw, the hidden, and the untold. Stay curious, stay bold, and stay human.